Yeah.
Yeah, we back again. I know it's been a little bit since we've been out, but here we are. This is the Boxing Rush Hour Show live edition, coming to you on a Monday, on a slowish Monday. I am one of your hosts, Abraham Gonzalez, founder of FightsATW.com, and the co-host is Zachary Zungri Ochoa, professional fighter. What's good, Zach? What's the deal? Talk to the people.
I don't know, man. Feeling good. I'm having a great day right now. It's the weather is so lovely right now. It's getting nice and cold. So I'm liking it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And listen, we've got some stuff going on this week and all that. But first, I don't not to start on a down slope, but um, RIP Victor Conti. Just saw that news pop up a couple hours ago. He had
Are you serious?
pancreatic cancer.
Oh man!
Um,
Wow! Wow!
and so RIP to him. Ortiz-Lubin. Let me post this. I'm posting the show on X here. Um, yeah, so RIP to him. And he was the founder and owner of Snack and all that. Listen, he had a controversial career, right? He was part of that all that Balco stuff and all that. But then cleaned it up, went into Snack, got behind some fighters, was part of the whole establishment of VADA for boxing and everything. So, he, he did all that. And so, listen, he's got family, that care for him, I'm sure. So, our condolences to the families that were affected by by the loss of Victor today. So yeah, RIP to Victor Conte. I don't know if you ever spoke to him, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like,
Tell us.
I never really spoke to Victor Conti on one on one before ever, but my trainer Steve Edwards, he was real cool with him, real cool with my trainer, and they were good guys to each other, and he would sponsor us for the fights. You know what I'm saying? So a few of my fights, I've wore Snack on it, and I've gotten many supplements, legal supplements, from the Snack people, and it worked. It worked on me. It was great stuff, good stuff, and really, I'm really surprised. This is how I know, I don't be on the internet like that. It's just I can't believe that. That's wild. You know what I'm
Y-
saying? But
Yeah, and
that's
that, it
what's up.
just it just happened like a little while ago. A couple hours ago is when the news came out. I believe Devin Haney was the first one that had put it out, and then it started coming out after that. So RIP to Victor Conti. All right, let's keep this moving here. Last Thursday, Michaela Mayer won
Yeah.
a title in, I believe, her third division at 154. So she was fighting for the WBA title, but the WBC and the WBO were vacated by Cecilia Brækhus, who retired. So they fought for all three, and she won by decision. Do you think that Michaela Mayer is, I don't know, being overlooked a little bit with some of the accomplishments she's had so far in her career?
I think so. I think so because she's quiet, she's nice. She's not outlandish with her words. She's not, making herself outspoken. She's a nice girl, but she's marketable. You understand? She's marketable. She could be in movies. She can do a bunch of stuff. She's nice, and I think she needs to start promoting herself a lot more now and pick it up because there's only so much of of what belts can do for you. What can you do for them belts? Like, how can you capitalize yourself with them belts? Like, you can make a $900,000 fight with them belts, but if you promote yourself the right way, you can make that $1,300, 13.
Mm.
I'm saying $1.3 million. If you do it the right way with sponsors and everything like that. So I think she needs to start marketing herself more, but I think she's got all the possibility to do it. I think she just needs, I say a new team, but like needs a little bit more structure when it comes to the promotion side of it.
Yeah, and I think that, listen, Top Rank still not having a deal. even though they were able to show the fight on Pluto TV and Tubi and stuff, but them not like being fully established might have been a little bit of might have contributed a little bit of her not getting like a lot of push for this fight, especially to Eye of the Tiger that was promoting it out there in Canada. So yeah, I think that you're right. She has to, maybe push her own brand a little more. These past few months that she wasn't fighting, you really didn't hear from her. Like,
No, I
she
didn't know she
was.
was fighting. To be honest, I didn't know. And then when she was fighting, I'm like, oh snap! Usually you hear when Clarissa Shields was fighting, you hear when Alicia Baumgartner was fighting, Amanda Serrano, all these. You need to start hearing when she's fighting now. You understand?
But also keep in mind that she's the only female fighter on Top Rank.
Really?
Yeah. The other one used to be Senicia Estrada, but she's retired, right? So,
For now.
so yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I think that sometimes she gets lost in the shuffle there.
That you make a good point. There's no other fighters, so they can't really make. It's hard for them to make the fights, but it's almost like the pros and cons. I'm the only female fighter, so all the attention should be on me as that one female fighter. But then I'm the only female fighter. There's no other females to mess with Top Rank and stuff like that, So it's like the pros and cons with it. But if they think optimistic, put all your attention on this one female, and you guys can make really good money with her.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how that goes. All right. Other news. Floyd Schofield is in the news again because he was supposed to fight Jojo Diaz this weekend, actually, on the Virgil Ortiz Lubin card, and said he hurt his hand, like a hand contusion or something.
He was gonna fight Jojo.
Was that he was gonna fight Jojo, and then hurt his hand. He said a couple of words on a video, but then his father did the majority of the talking for the next like 20 minutes. So basically, he said he hurt his hand during sparring or during training, and Dr. Solon sit it out. Now, on the surface, I see that happens, right? And then, his father was like, oh, but, we're still fighting Jojo, this, that, third. But my mind, knowing how this boxing business works, I'm looking at this from the outside looking in, saying to myself, okay, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but Tank is no longer fighting Jake Paul. That's probably the case, right? Who's number one contender for Tank's belt at 135?
It's Schofield.
Yeah.
It's Schofield. Yeah.
It's Floyd Schofield, right? So if
but go ahead.
So if Tank is not fighting Roach, right? Because Roach is fighting in December now, and he's not going to fight Jake Paul. If he wants to keep that WBA belt, they might tell him, well, you got to fight Schofield next. And for Tank, don't you think that's a better fight for him to take because Schofield doesn't have the experience that he has, and he can probably get him at now that he's less likely or more likely to make fundamental mistakes than later on that he has more experience?
I like how you put everything together. You just well, basically, I think it would be a good fight. Obviously, everybody was excited for like Tank versus Jake Paul because it's the festivities. You understand? Mm-hmm. Everybody getting together, watching this big event because it's not a fight; it's an event, bro. At the end of the day, they're gonna get in there, do their thing. They're gonna hit each other, but it's an event. It's really an event. Now, when you talk about fight stuff, Schofield versus Gervonta Davis is a fucking fight. The reason why that's a fight is because he's jumping straight on Gervonta, and he might get knocked out. You understand? Schofield's tough. I like that kid. I like his dad. I like the way they're handling certain things. I think his dad calmed down a little bit, letting Schofield talk a little bit more now. Just a little bit more, But they remind me of Sean Porter and Kenny Porter. Their focus, everything. But to reverse everything, what the fuck with the injuries and the pullouts? It's really crazy. I'm telling you right now, it's no good. It's not good at all. It's not a good look. The inconsistency, the consistency of pulling out, it's not really good. It doesn't sit well. But at the end of the day, if he's doing this to get a tank fight and they've been talking to each other and he does get the tank fight, then that's great work. Don't underestimate his dad. His dad got the gift to talk. It's almost like his dad was like Devin Haney's father, Bill Haney. That's what I get, like with the similarities. But is he ready for a tank fight? I mean, who is? To be honest,
Yeah.
Who is? You know what I'm saying? He might jump on Tank, make it a little difficult, then Tank clips him in the middle of it, and he gets knocked out. But he went at the best guy there. You understand? Or he makes it a great fight. You understand? But let's think about it. That's a realistic option.
Yeah.
But with what's happening with Gervonta outside the ring, which it's none of my business. I don't judge people. I don't know what's going on. But motherfucker, bro.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. We're gonna get into that in a little bit.
Who will Schofield fight if it's not Tank? And then who's gonna fill in for Jake Paul? We'll get into that too. But like, who else is he gonna fight? Him versus Jojo Diaz was a tough fight. If he would have made it out that Jojo Diaz fight, because Jojo Diaz fight his ass off. That's my boy, man. That motherfucker. He's really a 125 pounder. And he's moving up, fighting, moving heavy, to eating them tacos and shit, doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? He can fight. So I'm upset that fight wasn't going to happen. That was going to be a good one.
Now they're saying that it's supposed to still happen, but this is the thing. I've always been a firm believer. Coming off of that Tevin Farmer knockout stoppage by Schofield, like he had all the momentum, and I feel like he took like 4 steps backwards taking the JoJo fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he needed to go into a big fight, and now, look, people forget stuff or forget about things. News travels so fast, like the news cycle so fast. If you announce Tank versus Schofield in 4 weeks, people will forget that he pulled out of this JoJo fight, and it'll be huge because all they'll do is keep replaying the clips of him stopping Farmer, and they'll be like, "Oh, this guy's a real threat."
Was supposed to fight Tank, and then Tank didn't fight him in the beginning of his career. All that stuff. They can really promote that fight. Yes. Excellent.
Yeah,
and that's what I like about it.
It's the fight. It's the fight that I want to see for sure. Shout out to my man Corey on IG. Ivan Redcatch, what up? Gabriel Goldman, Danny Limelight, what's the deal? I see you out there. He said, always having great combos, fight combos. Give me Tank versus Schofield, Tank by decision. Okay. All right. I got you. I see what it is. Oh, we got Jay from New Zealand popping up. Yo, Jay, what up?
Yo, what up,
What's
Jay?
up, guys? It's good to be back. Good to talk to you guys.
What's the deal, man?
Oh, not much. A lot of stuff to talk about since we're kind of thirsty for fights at the moment, and didn't expect the news about Conte earlier.
So let's hit let's just hit real quick your thoughts on Conte and Floyd Schofield being pulled out, and then we'll bring you back in later in the conversation if you stick around.
Yeah, sure. With Conte, well, it's okay. It's sad when anybody dies. I can't pretend, or we shouldn't pretend, that everybody suddenly has a clean image when they do pass away. So
it's not true.
I can't. Yeah. So, but with that being said, I've got no reason to mock him now that he's passed. But there are a lot of things I think are going to come out about his stuff that we didn't know before about Balco, for example, but also potentially shady things to do with Vada and Snack that we didn't know when he was alive. So
I think to be honest, Jay, though, like we shouldn't right now at this moment probably we shouldn't focus on that. Because he just passed away. He's got family and everything else, so we should probably just keep it at that. That he passed away. He had a legacy, good or good and bad type of thing. So, but as far as anything else that comes after, that's a different discussion for another day.
Yeah, and I do, and he is going to have a lot of fighters and athletes in general pay tribute to him, similar to how Panama Lewis, who had a far more brutal legacy because of that one incident, when he passed away. I remember this video is still on YouTube. Shannon Briggs and Francois both are paying tribute, and Mike Tyson did. So a lot of fight. So yeah, and I obviously I wish his family well.
Yeah. Now let's talk about Schofield. What do you think about him pulling out, and then what me and Zach were talking about as far as him versus Tank Davis potentially in 2026?
I don't know what to think about when it comes to Floyd Schofield. Like, this guy made a complete fool of me because just very quickly, when he pulled out of the Shakur Stevenson fight and his father came out with the craziest accusations in the world.
AJ, hold on for 1 second. Hold that thought real quick. Shout out to Jose Corpus and shout out to Christy Martin, who just joined the live. Yes, Hall of Fame, International Boxing Hall of Famer Christy Martin, who has the film Christy, the biopic, coming out starring Sydney Sweeney this weekend. So definitely check that out. And me and Zach are going to talk about that here a little bit later on the show. So shout out to Christy Martin. I'm sorry, Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, shout out Christy Martin. Didn't know they were there, but yeah. So my thoughts when he came out with the accusations after the Stevenson pullout was, this can't all be lies, because you guys know this, in the real world you can't accuse people of that, especially rich people, without potentially losing your livelihood. But it turns out, but then he backtracked less than a week later and said, "Oh, I was just emotional." So I don't know what to think about when it comes to this guy. Yeah, so when he pulled out of this recent fight, I couldn't care less. I was like, "Look, make me care about you before." Yeah. As far as him with Tank, well, first of all, Tank being pulled from this fight when the accusations haven't been proven, I'm definitely not a fan of that, but I don't have sympathy for Tank Davis in general, because the hit and run is not an accusation. He did do it, and that's a low-life scumbag thing to do. So him versus Schofield, what you guys were saying just before I jumped on about how people will forget about the Jake Paul thing. I mean, nobody cared about the Jake Paul thing to begin with. So, I mean, him fighting Schofield, it would be bizarre world, because he's suddenly fighting somebody we care about, which we've been complaining about Tank not doing this for X amount of years. So it would be very, very weird if it happened. I would like to see it happen, but I've wiped my hands of Tank Davis since before the Roach thing. But the Roach thing, the decision, the knee, the Jake Paul thing, and also dragging the whole Roach rematch talks on, it just put an exclamation mark there, because I've been on shows and people have been asking about who's going to be the future of boxing and stuff, and how we need these big names and this new generation to fight each other. And I'm like, well, don't even mention Tank, because he's not going to fight anybody. So,
all right.
Well, I got one thing to say.
Okay.
I feel, sorry to interrupt. I feel Dylan Mason's quietly going to get one belt, and then he's going to go get the WBA belt, and he's going to be a unified champion on the low. Watch, just quietly, because he's doing everything quiet. Watch out for that kid. Not saying that he can't be beat, but he's doing everything quiet in the right way.
Yeah, I guess we'll see, and we're gonna like move on to the Paul Tank stuff here in a bit. But hey, Jay, come back when we start hitting Ortiz-Lubin, okay?
For sure, guys. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Jay.
All right. Listen, Zach, I want to get into before we get into Paul and Tank. You know, we talked about it. Christy Martin joined the live and on Instagram, and I just want to talk about the movie. So this Friday, probably early premiere Thursday, depending on which theater you're at, Christy, the biopic of Christy Martin, will be hitting the theaters. Okay, it's starring Sydney Sweeney as she plays Christy Martin in the film. Now, I had the privilege of watching it a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to tell you that the film is like awesome. It's awesome. It sent like chills through my body on a few of the scenes, because even though I know the story, and I heard the story in different formats, whether the Ron Borges book or the Netflix documentary, but still seeing it play out was still chilling. And there's a lot of like serious subjects on there, and I think that the message is powerful. Sydney Sweeney does an outstanding job as Christy Martin. Like maybe 15-20 minutes into the film, I forgot that she was playing Christy Martin, because I thought that was Christy Martin on the screen.
That's crazy. Man. That's crazy.
It was crazy, and I was like, man. So I've seen some people like kind of like shit on the review a little bit, and it kind of seemed motivated by whatever feelings they have from their view on Sydney Sweeney, all that other stuff that was going on with her that people made a big deal out of. So I think that if you look at it with no biases, you can't deny that this is a really, really good movie, and one that you should watch. You, fighter, knowing Christy Martin's story a little bit, what are your thoughts on the upcoming movie? And I know you haven't watched it yet, but what are some of the things that you're anticipating?
I don't know, man. Like, I know Christy Martin as like a tough, rugged woman who worked her ass off. The game of boxing took advantage of her, but like, might have, what I'm saying? It was really bad. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that happened in women's boxing, with her being one of the main first women, to get that spotlight on her. And she was just a dog, bro. She was just a hard working woman. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't even know Sydney Sweeney. You know what I'm saying? She's Euphoria star, big star, sexy woman, everything like that. For her to get this role is like, it's great, because that's going to attract young fans, young people to watch this just because Sydney Sweeney's doing it, which are going to make other people and women and everybody else know Christy Martin's story. They'll understand not just women boxing and that, but boxing period, because it has a lot to do. I'm sure it's going to have a lot to do with that. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and you nailed it, man, because listen, you know how sometimes they say that people or situations have to happen first in order for things to get better later on.
Yes.
I think like Christy Martin took the L for women's boxing early, and not so much an L, but like she had to establish it first, right? Like, establish that stardom first before anybody can learn from it and move on from it, right? And I think that is important, man. And there's a lot of great messages in that movie, and there's a lot of like stuff in there that's uncomfortable conversations, but ones that need to be had. And there's some folks that maybe are going to watch that movie that maybe are going through that at the moment and may feel motivated to speak up about it instead of keeping it inside. So hopefully people support it, go watch it. And that movie is coming out this week.
I want to see how Cindy's hands look. You feel me? I want to see if her hands got right. If she's punching right, if she's, what I'm saying, ready to knock shit out. I want to see if Cindy's really on point with her style right now. I want to see, because she's just a regular girl. Everybody thinks she might be ready to knock somebody out now. I don't know. Don't sleep on her.
Well, check this out. Christy Martin was working with her side by side.
Wow.
As far as how to throw the punches, what to react, and they even sparred. They sparred together. After talking to Sydney and Christy this weekend, for Fights Around the World, I added one of the clips on my YouTube page at ABG Boxing, and is on Instagram. But yeah, they sparred and they worked out together. So like Sydney Sweeney really took this role seriously, and it's gonna show.
Nice.
It's gonna show. Shout out to Mike Woods. I see you out there. Little bit of all right. So let's just go into Jake Paul. Jake Paul versus Tank. It appears like it's off, and excuse me. A lot of it has to do with the fact that there's a civil suit that came out against Tank for some alleged domestic violence incidents. I say alleged because, excuse me, unless there's a police report that says that they did something or whatever, there's no criminal charges on him currently. So it's a civil suit.
So it's off.
Huh?
So Tank is
that's
okay.
what it's looking like right now.
I understand from a business point when it comes to like Netflix and everybody else to take it off immediately because it has this image and stuff, as they did with the Rolly thing. Remember?
Mm-hmm. That's a good example.
Proof is very important. Proof. You understand? Some people have been bad in their life, and then later on, when they're being good, they still get blamed for the same thing that they're actually not doing anymore. So we're not sure. We gotta have proof. You understand? So I don't know. It's pretty hard. It puts Jake in a really tough spot right now.
Yeah. The problem is that given Tank's history, and even more so as of early as June, where that he had a situation with the mother of his kids, like something like this pops up, like you can't ignore it. So and Netflix is like, nah, we're not gonna associate ourselves with that. So now comes the issue of, are they gonna find a replacement for November 14th? I don't think that they're going to do that. Chris Mannix was the first one to report this for Sports Illustrated, and he said that they were looking at a date in December. Now, one of the other things for that November card was that tickets weren't selling, bro. Tickets were not selling. They had cut the prices in half. These are all facts. Like, this is not imaginary. They had cut the prices in half for the tickets. It just wasn't selling. Now, could that have been a contributing factor? Maybe. Who knows? But for a fact, tickets weren't selling. And it
wasn't.
And so, I mean, that's just what it is. And
if Floyd wants to be a Floyd Mayweather, like he is Floyd Mayweather, he could easily just cancel his fight with Tyson and go and fight Jake Paul in December. Easy. Put his own stipulations to it, do whatever he wants, and guess what? They can make millions.
Nah, but he's got a nice setup if it happens the way it looks like it's going to happen. That's Pacquiao rematch and Mike Tyson in 2026. So
yeah, I know that.
It
was supposed to be Pacquiao was supposed to. I think Pacquiao got robbed. Shout out to Mario Barrios, but not robbed, but he did lose. He lost a close decision, but I feel like he won that fight. I was there. I was watching it. By the way, nobody packs the house like Pacquiao. It's crazy. It's crazy. I went to a Billie Eilish concert the other day. She had so many people there. Not like Pacquiao. Pacquiao had MGM Grand. Oh, boy. So it was supposed to be him getting that belt and then Floyd and him fighting again.
So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. He's still scheduled to fight in January, I guess. Who he fights in January, I don't know. But as far as Jake Paul, the names that have been thrown out is Nate Diaz. I don't really care for that. Nate. Oh, so like the rematch. Ryan Garcia, but then Oscar shut that down. He said not happening. And then there was some talks that Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios is being discussed right now for the WBC title. One of the names that I had heard, and then somebody had posted it, and I was like, oh, that would intrigue me a lot, is Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga versus Jake Paul. Now that piques my interest because they're the same size.
Yeah, but the thing is, Jake's not gonna fight Edgar. Edgar's gonna knock Jake out.
But that's
serious. Edgar's gonna knock him out. That's not gonna be like no. They're the same size, and Edgar could actually fight. You understand? And Jake Paul is nothing compared to an Edgar that's been fighting his whole life.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not going to take that fight.
But let me tell you, somebody with the character like Edgar Berlanga is with Jake Paul. That'll sell, man. They'll be printing money by then. You know what I mean? Like,
he's just too young and too good.
Yeah. So, but then about an hour ago, Mike Cavager put out there that Edgar Berlanga versus Jose Resendiz is being discussed for the first quarter in 2026. And if you remember, Jose Resendiz was the one that beat Caleb Plant in May by split decision. So,
Yes.
I mean, that's a cool fight and everything, but nah, give me that Jake Paul versus Edgar Berlanga, bro. That's I think that's the one
The
that
thing is, yeah, that's a big. If you're Edgar, you try to shoot for that one because you obviously you want the money fight. Resendiz, that's not a fight to play with. He fights, bro. The Resendiz is a beast. Only thing is if you beat Resendiz, then it's like, oh look, Caleb, I beat the guy that you couldn't beat. That's the thing. But I don't think. I'm not sure. I could be mistaken, but I don't think Edgar's plan is to do those things right now. It's to get his money, get a nice, good win on his belt real quick, then make some good money, which is smart. It's the business. There's nobody's gonna pay for our stuff, so he has to be a smart businessman. And man, lobby for the Jake fight. I don't think Jake would take it because that's a dangerous fight for him to take against Edgar. But Jake's not taking it. Jake is gonna fight somebody else.
I'm gonna tell you, if I'm Netflix, I'm knocking on MVP's door and be like, yo, do that Berlanga fight. You know, we'll sweeten the pot where we need to, but do that one because remember, you know, Jake Paul living in Puerto Rico, Edgar Berlanga claiming Puerto Rico from New York. There's just a lot of different stories in there.
And look, this is what I like. Because this is how I would see the fight happening. Jake Paul getting hurt, wound up getting stopped in like the late rounds by Edgar, or maybe the early rounds or whatever. But he still went out on his shield and fought a tough dude, a tough young fighter like Edgar. And he wouldn't, and he loses nothing from that. What, they're gonna make fun of him? He's a YouTuber. You can't win with Jake Paul because he's a YouTuber. He can say anything, you know what I'm saying? He can do whatever, and he's got all the money. So I like what you're saying, Abe. I agree.
Yes. If Netflix, if you're out there, book that. Jake Paul versus Edgar Berlanga. It'll fill the house, and you do it.
We'll hear about that soon.
And let me tell you something right now. You do that in Brooklyn in December? Oof. That joint will be crazy out there. Joint will be crazy out there, but early December. You don't want to gamble with the snowstorms.
You can't really put Jake like against like a Mel Charlo. It's like that's a little too serious of a fight.
Nah. You don't want to do that. I don't know. Speaking of Mel Charlo, I saw him on IG recently. He was talking about needing 10 million to fight either Crawford or Boots or somebody like that. I'm like, all right, bro. It's been 2 years since you fought. Like, let's be realistic. I mean, I don't know. That's a lot of money.
It won't happen for a Boots fight, but for a Crawford fight, it could happen. But not for a Boots fight.
It could happen for that. And he said he's not moving up, that he's staying at 154. So I don't know. Crawford's going to 160, or looking like he's going to go to 160 and fight, the winner of Jenna Beck Lara. But let's see. I mean, Jamal, they just need to get back in the ring. You know what I mean?
Jamal's more. He's becoming more active now.
Yeah. Now, supposedly, Golden Boy said that they offered Jamal the Virgil Ortiz fight for basically this weekend, and that he turned it down, or that somebody turned it down.
I don't know if the money was there for that. Maybe
that's what I'm saying. The money probably wasn't there for that. So
not for the Virgil Ortiz fight.
But when it's ready, I still believe that Virgil versus Jamel or Errol, even at this point,
I love the Virgil versus Earl fight. That's the fight I like.
In Dallas, yeah, that
I'm
whole
going
Texas
to that
showdown.
shit. What?
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm gonna eat my medium rare steak at one of them steakhouses over there, and I'm going to that fight.
Yeah, that's it. Book me for any one of those. Because Texas will definitely come out for that. All right. Yeah, was it Earl? Yeah, I think I still listen. The one thing that I've learned, and I've said this before, is that Texas supports Texas. If it's a big all Texas showdown, the people will come out for that regardless. They'll come out. And so that's just the way I lived there for a few years, and I've seen how people are with people that are from there. They support them 1,000%. Even if they don't even know who they are, they'll go.
Me and Virgil Ortiz fought on the same undercard, and he had a pretty good crowd for him when we fought on Canelo's undercard. It was good.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess we'll see how that goes. Over in IG, Jose Corpus, he was like, when you say Jake Paul and fight in the same sentence, do it like this, quote unquote fight. Yeah, yo, shout out to Jose, man. All right, so listen, we're gonna get into Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Ortiz-Lubin this weekend on Saturday, the Zone. This is a really good fight, or at least it should be. Brooklyn would be perfect for Jake Bonanga. Yeah. Yeah. Virgil Ortiz versus Ortiz-Lubin. Really good fight. On the Zone. I was told, and this is for people that don't know, I was told that this is going to be Golden Boy's last show for 2025. So that's not out there just yet, or I mean, I put it out there, but they won't be returning until mid-January, which what I was told. So this is Golden Boy's last show, none in December. They're going to be in Fort Worth. Virgil, Ortiz-Lubin. This is a good fight. This is a really good fight. I guess my only question is, before we get into the weeds of it, is has Ortiz-Lubin been? Two questions: has he been active enough to face Virgil Ortiz, and has he been in one too many wars to fight a Virgil Ortiz? Zach, tell me.
Very good question, man. Listen, Ortiz-Lubin, the first time I saw him fight live, is when he fought Mel Charlo, and obviously I was going with Mel, to win it. He did and all that stuff. But the way Lubin really got my respect, man, was the way he tries to get up, bro. He get knocked down and he tries to get up. Fundura, he fought Fundura, got knocked down, got up. Got knocked down, got up, knocked him down. That motherfucker, Ortiz-Lubin, gets all my respect, bro. I don't care what it is. You know why? He's a fighter. He was fighting with a broken jaw, broken face. He's a monster. He's good. And nobody was really beating that guy unless you knocked him out flat. You understand? Ortiz-Lubin can box. He can get on your ass and he can knock you out. What he did to Jorge Cota, that little cool drop, boom, knock him out. That was dope. But he has been in a lot of wars. But maybe him taking time for his body to heal and him staying in the gym, he got the rest he needed for him to come back for a fight like this. So I think it's the perfect thing he did. I'm not sure if Virgil Ortiz was the perfect opponent to come back to, but guess what? Ortiz-Lubin ain't scared nobody. He knows if he can win this fight, it puts him back on the fucking map as the man. As a young man, as the man that he was in the 2016, 2017 to 18 type of thing, right? But he needs to be sparring in a way where he needs to feel punches, because when you get back out of the ring and you finally get hit without headgear again, clip, can you take those shots? And Virgil Ortiz, he's been more active than Lubin, but Lubin still has a lot of experience as well. But Virgil Ortiz has finally caught up to that experience. So I believe it's a great fight, but Lubin has to be very careful with the way he does stuff, and he has to be on point in training camp. Virgil Ortiz, love that guy. He's the man. He's good, clean, smart kid, quiet, respectful to everybody. Everybody's always putting him down. They suck. He's good. This is both a good fight for both these guys. One of these fights is if Virgil Ortiz beats him, he's the man. He's the man. And that's another mark he got over a lot of these other guys that are fighting bullshit fights. They'll say, oh, Terrence Crawford ain't fight these top guys at 154, this and that. Look at Virgil Ortiz. And they'll be correct. If Lubin wins, he's back on top doing his thing. And Virgil Ortiz, he lost to a good ass fighter, but he can always just straight come back. So I'm not sure. I think this fight has potential to be a fight of the year candidate. I swear. And Asa De La Hoya knows how to make those.
Yeah. Now, listen, I don't disagree with anything you said. My only concern is this is going to be only Lubin's second fight in 2 years.
Mhm.
All right. And so, yeah, he took that time off. This is the second fight this year, but second fight in 2 years. I don't know if that inactivity is going to be one that that is going to affect the outcome of this fight.
It can affect it, but I never seen Lubin get out of shape.
Yeah.
Like I never seen him walk around fat. Lubin always stays in shape. He's like a little gym rat, and plus he's got this like athletic body. So I never really seen him get fat. But the mechanics and the getting punched on, are you still sparring? Are you still doing certain things? So you gotta see.
Yeah. And now before we get into the breakdown and who wins, the betting odds right now, according to DraftKings, they have Virgil Ortiz minus 900, Erickson Lubin at plus 550.
Wow.
Now,
Wow, that's wild.
yeah. Now
Wow,
Virgil
okay.
Ortiz by TKO KO is at minus 135. By decision is at plus 165. Decision might be a good play there. Draw is plus 2200. And then for Lubin, TKO KO, they have him at plus 900. And by decision, they got him at plus 1400.
Who Lubin's a plus for? Wow, that's. I mean, I can't lie, man. This is such a good fight, bro. I love Virgil Ortiz. He's good, man. He throws crisp, good shots, man. But what can Lubin still bring? I don't know.
Yeah, and let's start talking about that. And right, Mike Woods, like this is the era of inactivity, but in some instances, the inactivity hasn't been a factor, i.e., Terrence Crawford, right? And so, but there's only a handful of special guys that can get away with that and still, be effective and sharp and everything else. Okay, you're Erickson Lubin, Zach. What do you have to do to win this fight?
I gotta come out with my jab. First of all, start in training camp. You gotta have a really good training camp. He needs to strengthen his spine, his legs, stretch, and be ready for a violent fight. You understand? A violent fight. Now, as far as like the chest, he has to go in there. He has to use his feints big time because Virgil, he could bite on some feints. He could bite on feints. Bite on feints, jab up and down to the body, and he has to go to the body whenever he can. And when he comes out, he has to come out with his hands out because hands up. Because if he does not come out that clinch or inside work with his hands up, Virgil Ortiz is throwing monstrous bombs. And if he can do that all night, then Virgil Ortiz's energy will sap a little bit. And then he can start bringing it to him. And look, make an opening for your shot and see if you could land that one shot that could flash drop Virgil Ortiz. Because Virgil Ortiz had been dropped before, but the motherfucker will get up. He will get up. He will get up, and you might have problems, but at least you're taking advantage. You get a big point, 10-8 round, and then you never know. Maybe you can do it again. You understand? So he has to use his experience, but also know that I'm Erickson Lubin. I have power too. And he has to believe in his strength and believe in his power and his chin as well. You understand? So a lot of little things. If you're Virgil Ortiz, what are you doing?
Yeah, and just to add to yours, I think part of Lubin's plan has to be to keep Virgil on the back foot.
Oh, well, that's not an easy task.
That is not easy. I'm just saying.
That's not Lubin's style of fighting. But
yeah,
if you can do that, that'll be good.
Yeah. Now, as far as Virgil's concerned, and I think that you hinted a little bit of it, he has to be a little bit of a counterpuncher, I think, because there's going to be opportunities there. Lubin tends to, when he jabs down to the body, or like if he comes in with the right hook, he tends to drop that left hand a little bit when he does so, like to the chest level.
Yes.
That could be an opportunity for Virgil to land either a check right hook or a looping right that can catch Lubin and maybe get him off balance and do a flash knockdown. If I'm Virgil, though, I think this would be an opportunity to get back to breaking down that body. Lubin is going to move around, but not as much as what Madrimov was moving.
Yeah,
So
if he's smart, Lubin, he's not gonna move too much.
yeah, so I think I see Virgil maybe breaking him down to the body early, seeing that left hand drop down a little bit mid rounds, and then catching him with something late, and maybe even stopping him like around rounds 9 or 10.
You know that's really good, because when you start saying that, it starts making me remember Lubin seems to gas out a little bit towards the end of the fight. Virgil Ortiz doesn't really gas out. You know what I'm saying? Some steam gets off of his punches, but he's still throwing no matter what. Lubin, his output starts to drop significantly after round like 7 a little bit. So he's got to be in major shape. If I'm Virgil Ortiz, I'm in the clinches, punching his arms, punching his body, keep on throwing bunches and punches, and then throwing them. Not everything super hard, just throwing them, thumping, and then one snap, boom. So that's why Lubin has to create angles and not be too far away and not be too close. The Virgil Ortiz, he has long arms for his height. He has very long arms.
But sometimes Virgil can be like straight on a straight line, and not move around. And that's where your point is that if Lubin can find the angles, early on, and then maybe get those feints in as well,
get a flash knockdown.
It could be a long night for Virgil.
Yeah,
like very easily. No extra fee. It's on the zone.
Okay.
This isn't like your European fighter that nobody knows who he is main eventing against another European fighter that nobody knows who he is, at least in the US. This is, no kidding, quality fight, Virgil versus Lubin. And to be honest with you, and this is just an observation from the outside looking in, but has Golden Boy done really that many pay-per-views on the zone? Most of their fights have been on the zone, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Mike, check me on that.
I don't think they have. I don't remember any.
I feel like the zone pay-per-views comes from all the other promoters. I mean, I'm just, I'm just kind of spitballing here a little bit, but I think that, that happens more often with the other promoters than. Now, somebody can argue and say, well, the other promoters have the bigger stars. I can see that, but for the most part, Golden Boy has been given some really quality fights on the zone with the no extra fee. I know Mike brings that up because I think this week, the zone is going to announce the Ring Pass, which is supposed to be an additional fee to the zone for you to be able to watch pay-per-view events on the zone for that additional fee every month. So we don't know what that fee is. I've contacted the zone. They said all the details will be coming out soon. I put out a story saying, listen, if it's anything more than an additional $9.99 a month, they tweaking.
It's too much.
They tweaking really bad. So it'll be interesting to see that price, man. Because right now you're paying $229 a year, and if you're adding another 120, that's what $349 a year for the zone, bro. That's too much. Yo, this is crazy.
It's a little too much.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So, I went over to Insta and Jose Corpus saying Lubin for the upset. Oof.
Hey, y'all listen to me. There's fightsatw.com. Go on there, get some links, whatever. Bet money, and win money. Go spend money and do it again. Repeat.
Yeah, that's it's interesting. All right, listen. At the end of the day, who wins on Saturday night? Are you picking? I'm picking Ortiz by late stoppage. Who you picking, Zach?
This is a terrible thing to do. This is really terrible. Why you? My goodness, to put me in this position is bad because I like both guys, bro.
Yeah,
like personally, like they're just dope dudes, and they got great spirit. Shit.
And
Draw.
I was gonna say, while Zach is thinking, everybody that's on the live, if you want to throw in your prediction or your comments on anything we talked about, the link is pinned to the top of @AG Boxing YouTube page on the top of the comments. So hit that, join in, and talk your shit. But go ahead, Zach.
I think it's gonna be a draw. There's gonna be some flash knockdowns. They're gonna go all the way to the decision. Nobody's gonna get stopped, and they're both gonna go like this. As soon as it's a draw, they're both gonna go, and Luga's gonna go, damn man, I can't get a break. You know what I'm saying? After 2 years of inactivity, all that, and then Virgil Ortiz is gonna do this. They'll hug each other, and that's it. For real.
So you calling a draw, huh?
I'm putting the money on the what is it? The 2,200.
2,200 plus 2,200.
Well, 22. I'll put it right now, man. Yeah, if I win, we're going out to eat. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, man. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, this weekend begins like a really good month of boxing, right? So you got, Ortiz versus Lubin this weekend. I'm trying to pull up the calendar here. Then, obviously, the 14th doesn't look like it's going to happen. But the 15th, which is next Saturday, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn, Part 2.
I love that fight, man. Yeah, that's what I feel, boy. That fight makes me happy.
Yeah, and then listen, in Mexico, Rafael Espinoza, the WBO featherweight champ, he's going to fight Arnold Kigagi. That's a good fight. Richard Torres on that card, Emiliano Vargas. The weekend after that, David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde.
That's going to be a fight.
With Bam Rodriguez versus Puma. On the co-main, Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes for the title. Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney for the title.
That's gonna be a great fight. Yo, first of all, I've seen some footage of Devin Haney on the pads. Ooh, he looked fucking sharp.
Yeah,
Devin Haney looked sharp.
I guess.
I mean, it is pads. People be honest, but Devin Haney looks sharp. He looks sharp right now. But Brian Norman, I just like his style. I like his style. He don't give a fuck. He's through the door, and he's not respecting anything. So it's gonna be a good one. But shout out to Devin for even taking a hard-ass fight on the comeback like that. He didn't have to do that, but he did. So he's got some confidence in himself. And Brian Norman, he's got to step it up and do his thing.
Yeah. And then on the 22nd, 360 Promotions doing a show on Long Beach. Mizuki Hirota versus Gloria Gallardo for her WBO crown. The 29th, they're doing a club show here. Manny Pacquiao Promotions. In Temecula here in around my parts. Manny Pacquiao's son is fighting on that. And then let me see. There's another one here. Yeah, they just have some more UK stuff. Ben Whitaker's fighting.
I'm here since Danny Garcia. I'm gonna drop a bomb. Since Danny Garcia didn't get any cuts or injuries on his fight, I'm here. He might step in for Jake Paul, and it's gonna be a crazy fight.
Nah, really? Oh man, I tell you, I guess. Hey, if he can get it, boy, get it. I tell you, man, I have to believe that Jake is probably
could have been Adrian Broner if he was still in the gym, but nope, he's mellow messed up. I'm serious.
I know.
I'm serious, bro. You don't think if he was clean and not having these episodes on it is what it is and all that stuff, he was a high potential for that. You know why? Because it's the gift of gab. They can sell the fight.
Yeah. I don't know if Danny could sell the fight though.
He's just a name. That's all.
Yeah, he's just a name. I gotta listen, man. I gotta believe that. Even though Copper just said that Berlanga versus Resendiz is being discussed, that could just be a negotiating tactic. Like, hey, you're not the only option I got. I got this other option here. in being in Resendiz, if they wanted to up the offer, you know, his
If he fights
managers,
Resendiz,
his managers, Keith Conley. You know that Keith Conley is, he can pull those type of moves and get his guy what he needs to get. So I wouldn't be surprised is that just a negotiating tactic. And listen, Keith Conley is
he's good, man.
Friends with Coppinger, and you know he's probably telling Coppinger, "Yo, put this out there, blah blah blah," and you know that's just how that goes. So I think that yeah, we'll say, "Yep." I think listen, that people, this is inside baseball type of thing here. You know, you probably won't hear that anywhere else. Jose Corpus, he said Jake Paul versus Gabe Rosado. No, thank you. No, thank
Gabe
you.
Rosado?
Yeah. No, thank you.
Okay.
No. Oh, let's put this out there. One of the names that popped up this morning was Andre Ward.
Yeah, but Andre Ward's not going to take a dive. Andre Ward's going to stop him and fuck him up terribly.
Now that's an interest. That would be interesting. That would also
the
pique
fight
my interest.
or event.
It would have to be a fight.
I'm saying, like, what piques the interest?
You know what?
The fight or event, because that's not a fight. That's a torturing bloodbath. For
this
Andre
is the
Ward.
thing. This is the thing. Andre Ward is real protective of that O. So him being out of the ring as long as he had, I don't think he would take the chance.
Yeah, but he wouldn't even. Oh my God!
No, but listen, hear me out though.
Andre Ward could not fight Jake Paul at 70 years old for his own and still knock out Jake Paul.
Keep this though. You still have to take into account that, you know, the time away from the ring, even though I know he's been in the gym. But the Andre Ward fight would be great. I just don't see him making it a pro fight. It would probably be an exhibition. Because listen, regardless
why put his name on your resume anyway?
Yeah. I mean, why take the risk? Because even though Andre Ward is as confident as can be, I'm trying to look up his box rec here as far as when the last time he fought. You know, Andre Ward is still 41 years old. All right. The last time he fought was 2017. So that was what, 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
8 years ago. You want to put your O on the line after not fighting for 8 years? Probably not, bro. I don't see it. I think that if they do it, it'll be an exhibition. And listen, the exhibition sells anyway.
I think Carl Froch needs to fight Jake Paul in Wembley Stadium and sell 90. It's $80.
Carl Froch. Come on, man. Get his dusty ass out of here. Nah. Shout out to Carl Froch. He's a legend in his own right. But this is the thing, man. And I have to agree with Woods here. I don't think he takes that fight against Andre Ward.
He's not going to take that fight.
Because Andre Ward would probably embarrass him. But on the strength of Andre Ward, I don't think that he takes that fight unless they make it worth his while, and they have to really.
It would be there.
They have to really make it worth his while, because the other option would be to take that Joshua fight for Andre Ward, which is a big risk. But guess what? They would pay him for that risk handsomely.
Okay, but look, that's a really legacy fight. Yeah. That's like a real legacy fight. That's like in the history books type of fight, boy. Because if he can beat Joshua, they would have to they would have to strip somebody for their vacant title, get a vacant title there. They would strip, because that would need to be a world championship fight. And shit, I'm all for that.
Yeah. Now that right there, now you cooking. Now you cooking with fish grease, right? But Jake versus Andre Ward, I think, look, if the money is right and everything is where it needs to be for Andre Ward to do that, I think he does it.
It's gonna be one day.
But I have to believe that for Andre Ward, if he's gonna come out of retirement, so to speak, it's gonna be the Joshua fight. it has to be like super
Something
meaningful.
serious. Something serious. Yeah. And money has to be there. Money has to be there.
Which will be.
Because Andre Ward's going to stop doing his pastor stuff. He's got to go to camp. He's got to, he's going to stop a lot of things he's doing in order to get that done. That's been working great for him. It's been going well for him. So Andre Ward's going to do it for something meaningful for him, but it has to make financial sense for this man.
Yeah. I think so. Look, I mean, I do like the idea of Andre Ward being in any one of those fights. I just think that Joshua makes more sense for him because of what that would mean. And like you said, there could be a belt on the line because, if Usyk doesn't fulfill one of his mandatories, they'll strip it and they'll say, okay, belt on the line. Joshua, Wembley Stadium, Andre Ward.
Yes.
90,000 people. Like,
I'm there.
It'll happen. I still think, circling back, man, Jake Paul versus Berlanga. Let's go. that should be crazy, and that will do numbers. We'll see what it is. Listen, right now we're about an hour in. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Shout out to the 176 folks that are watching with us.
On a what? Oh, this is a Monday? Yeah, this is a Monday.
On a Monday.
Okay.
All the folks that checked in on Instagram. We had a bunch of folks today, including Hall of Famer Christy Martin, whose movie biopic Christy comes out this week in theaters. She joined a bunch of other people, man. So shout out to everybody that joined on Instagram, everybody else on X. And on YouTube. So shout out to them. Zach, what's the fight that, and we're gonna end with this. I don't think Jay's coming back. So what's the one fight that you are looking forward to the most before we call 2025 a wrap?
Conor Ben. Conor Ben versus Chris Eubanks. Because the first one, it was so good. If you love boxing like the way I love boxing, a fight like that could almost make you cry. And I get serious because it's like when you talk about people like fighting it out and not stopping that. As we say in my household, my dad used to grow us up going, "Roo, come on, we don't roo, fuck, like you got to leave it all in there like that, bro." That's such a great fight. And then this fight this Saturday, Lubin and Ortiz, it's a massive fight. It has that potential too. So I'm excited for these fights. And if you want to talk about in the clinical version, I am, looking forward to Devin Haney and Brian Norman fighting. Yep.
Yeah,
definitely. For real talk.
Yeah, listen. Obviously, I'm always looking forward to Niall Inoue fighting. He fights at December 27th. Even though I think he's gonna do a number on Picasso. I saw Picasso's last fight in person.
Picasso, baby.
He's gonna do a number on him. The one I'm looking forward to, I'm a small weight class guy. Bam Rodriguez versus Puma Martinez. That's the one, man. WBC, WBA, Superfly titles on the line. That's on the David Benavidez, Anthony Yarde card. That's the one, man. I'm really looking forward to that one.
After this performance, we should start talking about on the next one. We can talk about Bam a little bit more.
Yeah,
because he has a lot of potential to become a real big mega star, depending on how many weight classes he wants to go to. Yeah. So and I think his trainer is doing a great job.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I think the other one, and a little bit more of a sleeper too. Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes for the WBO title on that same card. Those are two, young guns. Abdullah Mason, he has the potential of being somebody special in this sport. Hopefully, he doesn't allow the things to get to his head too quickly.
He did not. He won't. He wouldn't.
Because he's getting a lot of attention and press, right? Hopefully, he doesn't allow that to get affect his work in the ring. But those are the two fights that I'm really, really looking forward to: the Bam Rodriguez and Abdullah Mason. Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney is also there. I think that's like a 1A or a 2A, 2B type of thing. But yeah, those are the ones, man. There's some really good boxing in November. December looks like might have some stuff, but outside of that, everything is January,
Yeah, I think
February.
Amanda Serrano's making a comeback too.
Yeah, January.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah.
2026. Like people's writing, they're like, all right, 2026, 2026. So, and I'm gonna leave with this. And I'm gonna put it out there. And Mike, if you're still on, I want you to comment with your prediction. Will Top Rank have a media rights deal before the end of 2025? Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, man. Bob is Bob, bro. He gonna come back. Bob has been doing this before we was even in our pops nutsack. You know what I'm saying? Like Bob's been doing this shit. Don't sleep on Bob. Don't sleep on Bob, man.
Listen, I have to agree with Zach here. I think that whatever deal they do, whether it's multiple, whether it's part 1 of 3, whatever the case may be, something gets announced before the end of the year by Top Rank. If it doesn't, then I have to believe one or two things. One, that there's a real issue there and that they have to figure something out. 2, I have to say, if they don't sign anything, then maybe they're going to sell in 2026. But he said okay, feels like no. Oof. Damn, you don't think so?
Mike. That's Michael Woods, bro.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
that's Michael Woods, bro. I don't know, bro.
He's been in the game for a long time.
No, it's Michael Woods, bro.
He said feels like no. He talks to Bob often. He hasn't spoken to Bob in a while because Bob has been quiet. I don't know. This is new territory here. So I understand why Mike would say no. Feels like no, I should say. Not, I want to quote him correctly. I think it's yes. Maybe I'm just being too optimistic, but I think they do. They announced something before the end of the year.
Okay. If PBC can come back a million times from how much they've fallen down, I don't think Top Rank could come back from the one time they're falling down.
And I think that's the other thing too, right? Like with Top Rank, it's not just what they got going on as far as the promotional company. You also got to take into account that they have a library associated with that. The library itself is worth money, right? And I know they have some on YouTube and stuff like that. But remember when they did they deal with ESPN, the library was included. I was part of that, right? And they slowly incorporated stuff. Top Rank has positioned themselves in a way that WWE had some years ago, where not only do they have the product of promotion, but they also have the library associated, and together that makes for a package, right? A good
Yes.
Now, Top Rank could be doing it where the library goes one place and then the promotion goes another, or they split it, or however it is. That could happen as well. But there's money in the library.
Yo, I love how you bring up that word, the library. The reason why, it makes me think of like the book of Eli, like when all books was deleted, erased, and everything like that. They were looking for that one book, and it's like, what if boxing like went into shit and went into terrible or got banned or something happened, and like that library of fights from all back then and everything that Top Rank has, that would be so valuable to the history of sports, of all sports. Like it would be special. So I like that word you use, that library. That's important, man. And I believe Golden Boy also has a good library, PBC as well. But Top Rank, they have that more extensive library than everybody else right now.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that, well, maybe not surprised because Golden Boy is coming up. Golden Boy and Matchroom are coming up on their last year with the Zone in 2026.
That's going to be interesting.
It'll be interesting to see if Golden Boy sticks around with the Zone or if maybe they shop their product and library to somebody else. Now, I don't know. I mean, they got a lot of, believe it or not, they have like a lot of like club shows underneath their library of guys that are big names now. You know, would it be worth seeing, hey, what did Ryan Garcia's third fight look like? Right. And then posting that up. Or Virgil Ortiz, if Virgil Ortiz now becomes a superstar. Hey, you know, let's pull up that fight that Virgil had at the
Canelo Smith on the card.
No, at the there's a club in downtown LA, the Belasco. Let's pull up because I was there for that fight too. Let's pull up Virgil at the Belasco Theater, what he looked like out there. So believe it or not, you know, they've got something to show for it. Archives not drawing the big money. I don't know though. See, the thing is that the Archives, you know, they may not draw big money in a one shot type of thing, but they draw consistent money throughout a certain time period, which can lead up to or some to big money. I don't think that those archives are things that keep the juice going, so to speak. And so if you're a company that maybe investing in, let's say, Golden Boy Promotions, and for those times that they lose money or whatever, the juice that's flowing on the archives can kind of supplement that, right? A little bit, I would think, but who knows? Like, I don't know what I'm talking about half the time, so.
Abe was a liar. He's not lying. He lied right there,
though. Oh man, listen, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We appreciate it. We jumped up to about 193 right now. Listen, it's Monday. We all got stuff we got to do. Me and Zach, or Zach and I should say, appreciate all you guys hanging with us today. Also on Instagram. Oh, Jose Corpus Drive, Top Rank can get a deal tomorrow. They're just not liking the terms they're hearing. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Corpus with the facts.
Yeah, well, maybe they're being lowballed because people think that they're desperate.
Yeah.
And that happens. Look at for example, and I'm not to keep dragging this, but
let's not forget about the Stars boxing thing.
The what?
Stars boxing. Remember the Stars boxing thing? Remember?
No. What are you talking about?
Stars boxing. Remember? We was talking about something might be happening with Stars. You know, Stars.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the thing. Remember that, like, even recently, Paramount Plus lowballed Warner Brothers Discovery because they were thinking that they was probably desperate. And they were like, they lowballed them on an offer, and and Warner Brothers was like, nah, we good. And they publicly went on sale. Now Comcast is interested. I think Netflix, the interest is on and off. So it could be a situation, Jose could be right, that, you know, they got a lowball offer and they're like, nah, we'll wait around for something better. Because maybe people thinking that they're desperate. So appreciate that, Jose. He's on the on Instagram. But yeah, listen, thanks again for everybody tuning in. Zach, what you want to tell the people?
Well, everybody, you know, shout out to everybody that's still watching boxing. You know, boxing is for me the greatest sport in the world, and there's nothing like it. And when it's done right, it's the best thing. And even when it's done wrong, still the best thing. No matter what, you're gonna tune into boxing, man. And I want to thank Abe and everybody for, you know, allowing this show to happen. And God bless, man. Tune in.
All right, listen, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. Please follow on X at Zachary Ochoa, at Abe G Boxing 718. Well, I'm sorry, at Abe G 718 on X. The YouTube is at AG Boxing. Make sure you drop a comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get reminded of the lives, all that. Please do that. We greatly appreciate it. And we're going to continue to rock and roll heavy November, somewhat heavy December, and then we'll pop off the new year. And lastly, if you ever want to get involved with the Boxing Rush Hour show and become a sponsor, please send me a message, whether on X at AG718 or on Instagram, or drop a comment on YouTube, and we can link up from there. But yes, we have availability for that. And, we are open to partnering with folks that want to get involved with our show. All right. So for Zach and I, have a great weekend, or a great week and weekend. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Peace.